Hey, I'm Ethan,
And I'm Isaac.
and this is All Things Video, a podcast that covers everything you need to know about leveraging video content for your business.
Join us as we discuss the latest tools, trends, and tactics in video marketing.
Let's get started.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the All Things Video Podcast. I'm super excited to jump into today's topic, but before we do that, I have a burning question for you, Ethan.
All right, let's hear it.
What is your go-to breakfast?
Oh, man. Honestly, this is bad, but lately, most days I have not eaten breakfast. I'm kind of lacking in my morning routine a little bit right now, so I kind of just get up and I usually read a little bit, and then I'm out the door. So
Okay, keep it simple.
I drink lots of coffee, skip breakfast, and then I'm like starving by lunch. So
That seems like a really healthy routine.
yeah, no, it's not. It's something I need to work on for sure.
Yeah.
But when I do eat breakfast, I will say my favorite breakfast of all time is Eggs Benedict.
Okay, I
is
have
so
not.
good.
I've not had that yet.
Oh, it's so
Never
good.
tried it before. Man, I'll have to cook that up here
Yeah.
soon. 'Cause I normally just do like 3 to 6 scrambled eggs with
Yeah.
English muffin and some.
Okay.
I do peanut butter, blueberries, and a honey drizzle on top.
Random, but I'm here for it. I
I
like
don't
it.
know if it's random. I mean, it's so good. It's a harmony. But anyways, today we're going to be talking about how much video production costs, and this is something we get asked all the time. And the honest answer is that it really depends. Like you cannot say video production costs $50,000 because every single project is different. So it really does depend. It could be from $300 to $100,000, like depending on the project. So it's really hard to answer that and say it costs this much. But there definitely are different categories you can go through and kind of categorize this and see roughly what stuff costs in each category. So Ethan, you want to walk me through kind of the first factor that affects the cost of video production?
Yeah, and before I do that, I guess I would just say too that $100,000 video project is hard for most people in our audience to even fathom. And I think like for the average of video for a small to medium sized business, a couple of rules of thumb I've seen online are like $1,000 to $5,000 per finished minute of video. Would you agree? That's very
Yeah,
vague, but
I
it's at
would-
least a
yeah.
rough idea
I would say so.
of what people might be looking at.
Yeah.
So typical shoots are $1,000 to $20,000 for a corporate video sort of thing. But yeah, in terms of the actual factors that affect the cost of video production, the first factor is just the type of video that you're looking to create. So there's a lot of different kinds of video you can make.
Yeah.
We've seen a lot of variety at Sleekfire over the years because sometimes we are just creating informational content where it's just one person talking head, talking to one camera with a simple lighting setup and some audio. And it could go from there all the way up to like a higher production brand video where we're shooting for multiple days with multiple talent in multiple locations.
Yeah.
So the type of the video is something to consider when you're planning and getting pricing from different video production companies. Something to keep in mind that the type of video can really drive up the price or keep it lower.
Yeah, and another thing is the frequency of those videos. Are you looking for a one-off video? Do you want a 2-minute brand video that you're planning on using for 2 to 5 years?
Right.
Or do you want monthly social media content or monthly polished videos? Because if you're looking for, I want 2 videos for social media per month. That's going to be a lot cheaper than I want 2 really high production educational videos every month.
Yeah.
So it really depends on what type of video you're doing, but also the frequency of those shoots and the frequency of the amount of video you need really can kind of shape that price.
Yeah, and I think a lot of video companies, ourselves included, would give a discount if it's going to be a monthly partnership versus just a one-off project.
Yes.
It's going to cost a lot more.
For sure.
We really love partnering with people in the long term and are willing to kind of bring the monthly price down quite a bit for that.
Yeah.
The next one is the duration of the video. Obviously, the longer the video is, the more footage needs recorded, but also the more time is involved in the editing room. Cutting through interview footage or adding the color grading or graphics. The longer the video is, typically the more it's going to cost you.
Right. I mean, we just finished up a project recently that was probably combined around 3 hours of interview footage. So a project like that is going to take a lot longer and cost more because there's so much more time in the post-production phase.
Yep. Next one is pre-production costs. So depending on the complexity and the type of video that you're looking to create, it could have almost no pre-production cost, or it could have hours and hours of pre-production time required.
Yeah.
What are some of the things that are involved in the pre-production process that people should be aware of?
Yeah, I think that the question is really dependent on what type of video it is, but across the board, usually there's going to be things like location scouting, storyboarding, which is actually creating reference images before you even start the project. So that way you can get to the shoot day and say, okay, now we have to get this shot, and you have an example image of what you need to capture. Another thing would be a shot list, which is really just a written form of a storyboard, saying we need to get a tight of the product here, and then we need to get a wide shot of the product at this location or whatever it is. And yeah, location scouts, shot lists, storyboards. You could be searching for music ahead of time.
Scripting, if there's any form of
absolutely.
narration or anything like that.
And a lot of times finding talent, depending on what the project is.
Yep, for sure. All right, next one is production crew. Again, if you're looking to do a really high-end, highly produced type of brand video or commercial, it's going to need a bigger crew of people. And so most video production companies employ a lot of different contractors as needed. What are some of those different positions that might be needed on a bigger project?
Yeah, on a bigger project, the more traditional stuff you would see would be a director of photography, director's assistant. You would have PAs, first AC, second AC. Those are all people that worry about power to the camera, power to the lights, pulling focus for cinema lenses and stuff like that. Then you'd have your gaffers who are, or really your kind of gaffer and grip who are working on rigging and putting up light fixtures. And then you have your audio tech, you have your DIT, which is a digital image technician, which is the person who is backing everything up on stage. They're actually color grading stuff live, so you can make sure it's the look you're going for. And those are just a couple. I mean, you have PAs, production assistants, who are just there to like bring water and food to the talent, basically. Bring you coffee, whatever it is. On like really big movie sets, you'll see like they have like the best boy and the best girl. I don't even know what they do, but they like if you watch movie credits, it's such a massive list. And every single person has a role in something that they did to make that video possible.
Yep. And that's like really large scale. So if you're watching this and you're a small business owner, don't think that videos you're going to need produced are going to need all of that. Typically they won't. On the average production, I would say like there's going to be a director and there's going to be a director of photography, like no matter what. That's kind of the two core. And then ideally a gaffer to be running lights and setting things up. But again, if you're a small business owner, it's probably going to be a 2 to 3 person crew that you should expect coming on a video shoot for you.
And the next one would be travel expenses. Like, where is the shoot at? Because for us, we're here in mid-Michigan, and a lot of our clients are an hour away, roughly. Some are local, some aren't. So it depends on if, you have to do out-of-state travel. Maybe you have to do out-of-country travel, overseas, whatever it is. So whether you're asking that person to drive 2 to 5 hours or however far it is to your company to shoot a video, that's going to massively affect the cost of the overall production of the video.
Yeah.
I'm super excited to announce today that Sleekfire is hosting its very first event. This event's going to be held at Waypoint Coffee Company here in St. John's, and it's actually the start of a new event series. We're hoping to do this about 1 per quarter, and the event series is called the Digital Drip. And the whole purpose of this series is to just get marketing professionals and business owners in the same room together to meet each other, to network, and to learn more about digital marketing. This is a free event, and the coffee and the baked goods and everything are on us. So all you have to do is register on our event page and show up, and it's going to be a blast. So you might be wondering, who is this event for? I think it's really for anyone who is interested in digital marketing and passionate about it and wants to learn more about how to implement digital marketing tactics in their business or organization. We have 3 speakers scheduled for this first event, and I'm really excited for you all to meet them and hear what they have to teach us. Firstly, we have AJ Morris, who is the Senior Product Manager at BitLift Cybersecurity here in St. John's. Secondly, we have Nick Pidek, who is the owner and who handles all of the marketing for Foster Coffee Co. in both Owasso, and they have an East Lansing location. And thirdly, we have Gary Morris, who is the owner of multiple companies, but primarily over the years, he has worked under Grafted In Digital Marketing. He's just a genius marketer. I've learned a lot from him over the years. So I'm really excited for all 3 of these speakers and for you guys to hear what they have to say at this event. This is a completely free event, but we do have limited space. So make sure you click the link below to reserve your free ticket.
Next item to consider in terms of factors that affect the cost is equipment.
Yeah.
And this isn't something that you necessarily as the business owner or marketing team will need to pay for directly, but it's something that any video production company needs to consider. And so, again, if it's a larger production, a lot of times video production companies will rent equipment that's specialized to bring in for that project, and that can really drive up the price.
Yeah.
If there's any types of specialized shots that you need, whether it's really popular right now is like FPV drones, right?
Yeah.
If a company doesn't have that internally, they might rent it or even pay to bring in a specialized drone pilot to man that. Any types of specialized crane shots or jib shots or things like that can drive up the cost of equipment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then post-production cost is huge. You know, what do you want this actual finished video to look like? Because some people hire you to shoot let's say a 5-minute educational video, and they just want like the ifs, the ands, the buts, whatever, the stutters cut out of the video, and then they want you to like fade their logo on at the end. So that's not going to cost very much because that's going to take like maybe an hour or 2 to edit.
Right.
But if you're talking, you want text animation, you want green screen, you want any specialized effects, or you want a focus on sound design. Those are all things that can take a lot more time. As the editor here, basically, like I'm the one who does all of the editing at Sleekfire, and so I know how long it takes for a lot of these things. And if you're taking a basic video, but then you want to add text, you want to add music, you want to add cut-ins, you're cutting between multiple cameras. Those couple things are adding on hours to the post-production process.
Yep. All right. The last factor on the list is distribution and marketing costs. This is something that not every video production company will offer, but a lot of times they will offer as an add-on service. Once they make your video for you, they will also distribute it on all of your social media channels, and even go as far as creating paid ad campaigns with that video content on Facebook or Instagram, YouTube pre-roll, OTT, and kind of managing all of that campaign and all that marketing for you. So that cost can vary a lot depending on what the campaigns look like. So I'm not even going to put a dollar amount to that, but it's something to be aware of. If you have a marketing team internally, it's ideal for you to just take the content from the video production company, and then your marketing team will distribute and use it for all of your marketing campaigns. All right, so those are all the factors that affect the cost of video production. Now we want to move into some tips for reducing the cost of video production and just some things to be aware of. So Isaac, go ahead and lead off this first tip for reducing the cost.
Yeah, the first one is just shop around, get multiple quotes. You may be going to someone, a bigger production company, and saying, I want a 2-minute educational video, and I just want, all the stutters cut out, some music underneath, and my logo at the beginning and end. That won't actually take them that long, but they may be too busy for that to, be worth it for them. So they might quote that really high or something. So I think it's really important to shop around, go to your local places, maybe go to some places that are an hour or so away, and just get multiple quotes from different people and see who kind of wins that bid.
Yep, great. And then the next one is just planning ahead and being organized. I can't tell you how many video projects we've been on where the client has no clue what they want or what they're even trying to accomplish. They just know they want a video and they have the budget for it. So we move forward, and then it's just messy and time consuming. So it's really important to just upfront on your very first call with whatever company you're working with, or you as an internal team if you're producing it in-house, to just be organized, have a shot list, have an objective for the video. This is what we're trying to communicate, or this is what we're trying to accomplish, or this is who we're trying to reach with this video. Have all that documented ahead of time, and it's really going to save you a lot of time and money in the production and post-production processes.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's huge. There's a lot of projects I've been on where you show up and they're like, so what am I going to say? It's like,
Or they'll tell us they have a script ready or all the content planned out, and we show up and they're like, so what are we doing?
Yeah, exactly. That's not a good place to be in, and you're not going to be super happy with your video if you're there. And then just being realistic about what you want and what you actually need, because I know I've had experience with some people sending me an example video and they're like, hey, I love this Nissan Z commercial. Can we do something like this? And I'm like, well, let me hire 80 people to help with this production, and then we can do that. And also, we'll need a budget of about $150,000. So be realistic about what you actually need versus what you want, and know that those things cost a lot of money to get a full crew, to get the gear to do that, to get the permits to do that. I mean, there's so much that goes into those bigger productions. So just be realistic about what you actually need versus what you want.
Yep. Had that happen a lot where people send like an Apple ad or a Coca-Cola ad, and they're like, we have a $2,000 budget.
Awesome.
Okay. Let's talk about this.
Yeah.
All right. The last tip for reducing the cost of video production is just providing all the necessary materials up front. This is similar to just the planning ahead and being organized tip, but being very proactive with your video vendor, whoever you're working with. Don't make them hunt you down and constantly be begging for all the details for the shoot. Try to be proactive and send things their way promptly to make sure that the video timeline is moving forward as efficiently as possible.
So it is time for our question of the day. And the question today is, will video production be, or really just video in general, will it be relevant in, let's say, 10 years from now?
That's a good question. We've definitely seen over the last 10 years, we've seen video really rise in popularity in marketing, to the point where it's almost just expected now that if you're in business, you're going to be using video in your marketing in some form or another. Personally, my gut reaction is I don't ever really see it going away. Like it's such an effective method of telling your brand's story, connecting with people on an emotional level, sharing educational ideas and topics, and adding value to the marketplace. I can't imagine us ever going backwards in that.
I think if anything, maybe the format in how video is interacted with and viewed will change, but I don't really think the need and want for video is going to change or go out of style.
Yeah. And even the format, I'll be curious to see what happens, because a few years back when, augmented reality platforms were getting popular, a lot of people were saying this is the future. Like in 5 years, everyone's going to be adopted this AR platform and watching videos only through a headset. And I haven't really seen that rise in popularity too much. If anything, maybe it's going a little bit backwards. I don't know. I'm not super involved in that space, but it will be really interesting to see what happens. But I think the format and then potentially the type of content that's shared could change as well. I think 5 years ago it was, let's just make the coolest ad content, like promotional video or commercial that we can, and just put it on our website. And now it seems like everybody's shifting more in business towards consistent monthly content for SEO and for adding value, whether it's on blog posts or building a YouTube channel. So
and I'm curious to see how the duration of the videos changes as well, because I mean, watch time has gone down so much in the last couple of years, and people's attention spans is like, you have like 3 seconds to win them on your video, basically. I'm curious if that will change, if that will get better, if longer form video will come back, or if it's just kind of totally dead.
So when you say watch time, you're talking about the time per video that's watched. Is that correct?
Yeah,
'Cause
like the amount
screen
of time
time's going up,
before. Right.
but
So
watch
screen
time's
time
going
is going
down,
up, but
right?
watch time's going down.
Yeah.
So the videos that usually, like I've done experiments with like YouTube Shorts before, and the videos that got the most views, like by like 4 times the amount of views of my other videos, was 6 seconds long. And
That's kind of sad. What does that say about our
it
culture?
is. It's very sad. And like then you post like a 12-second video, it gets like 15 views. You're like,
Yeah.
what? The other one got 24,000. Like,
And then
what's
you
happening?
produce like a really professional, like
Yes.
10-minute presentation or even 2-minute like brand video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hardly gets
It's
any
crazy.
attention. It's going to be interesting to see how this changes and evolves over the next 5 to 10 years.
Yeah. And I do think there's some timeless tactics
Yeah.
that can be applied to any video that will never go out of style. And I
Yeah.
think specifically storytelling is one of them. So
For
if you
sure.
have a video that's longer, but it's telling a great story and it's captivating and grabs your attention right from the outset, I don't think that's ever going to go out of style. And I think that's always going to make your content better.
Absolutely.
Well, this has been another episode of the All Things Video podcast. Thanks for joining us on this, and we look forward to seeing you in the next one. All Things Video is a podcast produced by Sleekfire. Sleekfire is a video production company based in St. John's, Michigan. For more information, visit sleekfire.io and make sure to check out our blog for a large collection of helpful resources.